I do want to keep, okay. I'm ready when you are.
Good evening and welcome to the Nonprofit Development Program webinar and Q&A sponsored by WeSERVE and Will and Way CEC. We're grateful that you have taken time out to join us to find out more information about our nonprofit development program, which has been a thorough success over the past year as we have empowered individuals across this country to start 501c3 entities and begin to do more organized work in their communities. I'm going to turn you now over into our seminar coordinator, Mrs. Graham. Mrs. Graham is the founder of Will and Way, along with her husband, Renix, and she has been the lead tech, the lead instructor for our nonprofit development program. Mrs. Graham, we're now in your hands.
Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the introduction of our nonprofit development program. Thank you, Ms. McCowan, for that very nice introduction. Just off the top, I want to be clear, we want to respect the 30-minute time that was stated. So we are asking that you write down any questions that come to mind as we share with you this wonderful opportunity of the nonprofit development program. When we get to the end, you will have a chance to ask questions as you like. At this time, we have muted all lines to make this presentation seamless. So let's get started. I am Deanne Graham, your webinar facilitator and program director of the Nonprofit Development Program. I currently serve on the board of directors for WeServe Community Development Corporation, a thriving nonprofit organization based out of the state of Virginia. And I also serve as a co-founder and executive director of Will and Way Community Enrichment Corporation, based in Dallas, Texas. We provide resources through programs, mentorship, and services that develop character and inspire individuals to be the best version of themselves. Now, as your program director, you can assure that my focus is on social innovation, nonprofit management, and community building. I have served in the philanthropic and advocacy field by trade since 2009. And in that role, I was afforded the opportunity to work with large nonprofit organizations like Habitat for Humanities, Wounded Warrior, and Feed America. The impact these organizations have on the world is great. And viewing with a different lens, it exposes the gaps of services needed in the minority communities. Now, this personally increased my desire to get knee-deep in the nonprofit sector and devise ways of getting more resources to the inner city. Having been groomed by world-class master trainer Kim Anthony of Urban Excellence Institute, along with the combined years of business acumen, the NPDP team and I are more than equipped to encourage and support each of you with the development of your nonprofit organization. And when you get to the finish line, you'll do it successfully. We've just concluded our final nonprofit development program live class of 2021 and had a successful commencement and launch day back in September. Now we are happy to offer this winter 2022 session. Now let's go ahead and get started. The purpose. This program is brought to you by Will and Way partner with WeServe, and it was created to walk you through each steps needed to establish your nonprofit organization and put you on a path to receiving grants and financial partnerships as your organization champions its mission in the communities that it serves. The reality is we need more nonprofit organizations. We need people that will push the social movements in the community as we make the world a better place together. Rather, you are the first in the field that you plan to pursue or the 100th person. There is room for you. There are a lot of businesses out there with that assist with the relationship building, paperwork, and so forth. And we realize that there's a lack of organization foundation. Now, that is what this program focuses on, true business establishment. NPDP is a 7-session action plan that includes one-on-one coaching as you work to build your purpose from the ground up to ensure that your organization is off to a successful start with lasting results, of course. Now, this program is designed to support new and emerging nonprofit leaders as they put into place the infrastructure needed for sustainable growth and measurable impact. Now, I like to talk about the myths. There seems to be quite a few misconceptions about nonprofit organizations, and I want to debunk at least the top 3 that I'm asked about the most. Now, the first is nonprofits cannot make a profit. And I giggle because that is so far from the truth. We actually review this during the program. The nonprofit organizations not only cover their operating costs, they can make a very large profit. So this is a total myth. Now, there are nonprofit organizations out there that bring in millions of dollars through programs and services that they provide. I know we all have heard of Goodwill. What about the Boys and Girls Club? Or even the Susan G. Komen Foundation? These are all million-dollar nonprofit organizations that started by one person that decided to make a difference in their community, and it has become what we know today. So that is called a legacy. Now let's get to number 2. Nonprofit founders and leaders do not get paid. Total myth. Nonprofit founders and leaders, they definitely get paid. The assumption is that by working in and for a nonprofit, you should be paid lower than the market value for the work you do, which is absolutely not true. One incredibly amazing thing as a nonprofit founder is you have the opportunity to create your own job description. And as your organization can pay you the market value for the role that you play. In fact, there are organizations that pay their executives a stipend even after their tenure position is up. So there is public information out there that proves this, and it's discussed thoroughly through our program. So this is surely a myth. And then the last top one that I want to review is nonprofit is not a business. Now, one of the biggest myths is that nonprofit work is not ran like a business. But the truth is, it is. This is in the lane of entrepreneurship. So there are legalities required for nonprofit organizations, just like it is required for someone to obtain an LLC. You can get business credit for your operation just as you would for your C Corp or S Corp. You can take advantage of the SBA opportunities and grant opportunities and just about any other opportunity given to businesses as a whole. So just to confirm, these are the top 3 myths that I come across in this field of study, and wanted to make sure that you understand that these are 100% false. Now let's talk about the advantages of nonprofit organizations. Did you know that you can write off up to 100% of your adjusted gross income if you donate it to charity? That includes your own charity. So the tax breaks is a big part. Purchases made through your nonprofit can be eligible for state, federal, and other income tax exemptions. The other is the 501c3 tax exempt status, which is contributions and your profits are also tax deductible, which benefits your partners, those who donate to you. Public service loan forgiveness. Now, many of you may have heard of this program, and it's being revamped as well and re-reviewed. If you have student loans, it can be forgiven if you work in the public sector, and that includes nonprofit organization founders or even workers, police officers, teachers and staff. All of those in the public sector have an opportunity to have a portion or all of their student loans forgiven. Another benefit is asset protection. So you get protected from personal liabilities for your nonprofit action. So you don't have to be personally on the line. Flexibility is a big one. More flexibility to balance your financials and your mission-related needs. You make the rules. This is your nonprofit organization. And then, of course, the supplemental income. You can hire yourself to pursue your aspirations, your goals, and when making a difference in your community. Now, the reality is, this is how the rich get richer. They know how to use this advantage, and the top 2% for decades understood how to maximize this benefit. They buy and sell homes in their nonprofit names. They endorse their actual businesses through their nonprofit. They have huge estates, and they use their nonprofit as a safety net that will continue for decades after they're gone. Now, that is what you call generational wealth and legacy, which can be started through your nonprofit organization. So now is the time to use your passion to not only implement change within your communities, but also take full advantage of this benefit to create and build your very own legacy. Now, Many of you may be questioning your ability to have a nonprofit. You may be questioning if this is something that you can do. And I wanted to read to you the definition of the imposter syndrome. It's a psychological pattern in which you doubt your skills, your talents, or accomplishments, despite the external evidence of your competence. Those with imposterism have an internalized fear of being exposed as a fraud. Also, they incorrectly attribute their success to luck. They are afraid of others thinking that they are more intelligent than what they themselves believe that they are. I wanted to share this because many of you have oftentimes, and I'm gonna put myself in there as well, we operate in the imposter syndrome. And this is one of the reasons why many of us have yet to achieve our goals. It's because we don't believe that we deserve them. Did hearing me read this definition do something to you on the inside? If so, this is a review that we do in our program. We focus on our gifts and talents and skill sets because there is a reason that we have them. We also will empower one another to increase belief in ourselves so those needing our gifts can get the best of what we have. I want to gently remind you to believe in yourself. I also want to remind you that life is an occasion, must rise to the occasion. So say to yourself that I can and I will. Now, these are the top 3 reasons for creating a nonprofit. The first is feel the need. You see a need, so when I say gaps, I'm speaking of needs that are not being met. Also too, the second reason is caring for underserved populations. So you see a geographical population not being served. Maybe your heart is for the homeless and the closest shelter is 10 miles away from the popular homeless encampment. Or you have a unique method of service to reach people. So for those of you who are innovators at heart and the trailblazers of the group, this is also a good option for you as well. Now, you're probably wondering, what can I do? Now that I've shared the top 3 reasons for starting a nonprofit, let's discuss some nonprofit ideas. The Nonprofit Development Program was created to help people discover their ideas and passion and purpose, their hobbies, their skill sets that they possess, because it can influence and make a lasting impression into today's society. Now, there are gaps in neighboring communities waiting to be filled by your gifts and talents. You can obtain financial backing to help support your purpose and passion and recycle that money back into your organization so you can make an even larger impact. Not to mention hire yourself and create jobs for like-minded individuals that will help push your purpose. So ask yourself, what are you currently doing that you believe can make a difference in your community? Now, you can be a barber that gives away free cuts to inner city youth on 4th Saturdays, or possibly have a social media account that you post skits and memes to make people laugh and forget about their hectic day. Or maybe you began creating masks and donating them to hospital patients, nursing homes, and homeless shelters. Some of you may already have the idea, and some of you may be thinking about your idea. Think about your gifts and your talents. What do you do now that takes little effort, is a passion of yours that is effortless and one that you enjoy? Now think about how your community can benefit from that. And over here on the very first one, we have mobile clinics. I just wanted to highlight this because the government is giving out large amounts of money to nonprofit organizations in rural areas just to have, say, COVID testing centers. They literally pay you to create the center on your property, parking lot, and host. You don't have to do the work. They'll have the licensed professionals come and do all of it, but you're just hosting. So I put the mobile clinic there so that way we can be clear about it. It doesn't matter whatever it is that you're doing, as long as you're serving the community, that's where the benefit is. So we want to highlight how your pain has purpose. In addition to the passion, gifts, and talents, we want to highlight that your pain has purpose. We live in a world full of problems, and when there are problems, we need problem solvers. And that is what nonprofit organizations are. They are created to solve a problem, to bring awareness to the problem, That challenge that you have overcome, that circumstance that you survived, how you got over is the answer that we need. Are you aware that the challenges you faced are part of your purpose? Your challenge didn't overtake you and you came out on the other side. So I like for you to ask yourself the following questions. What have I overcome? What have I survived? Who is dealing with the same challenges? And how can my experience make an impact? Again, there is somebody out there waiting on your yes. There are people out there waiting for you to begin your nonprofit journey. How you overcame really is your super strength. So channel that strength. This also includes your talents, your passion, and purpose previously discussed. Your commitment to giving back the best of you through your gifts can only change lives, okay? So your opportunity to start your nonprofit organization will absolutely have an impact. So, but before you start, let's talk about the reconsidering, okay? You should reconsider if you're in it solely for the money. That is not the purpose of a nonprofit organization. If you don't like wearing multiple hats or handling multiple roles at some particular time, this is probably not a good option for you. If you are self-serving versus community-driven, this is still probably not a good opportunity for you. And you don't have a desire to add value or invoke change. Keep in mind that nonprofit organizations are created to meet the need of the community, a group or an area that is underserved. So every nonprofit organization is a mission, has a mission and has a vision to do something greater than what has already been done. So your starting salary may take time because you're building. Oftentimes the work and passion comes before the money. So if you don't have the heart of service, starting a nonprofit may not be the best option for you. Now let's talk about what you'll obtain through the program. There are many benefits of this program you will walk away with. The first is your state corporation and certificate of formation. This is just your acknowledgement in the state that you're forming your organization. 2, your EIN number. That's your business social security number. Your formal articles of incorporation. This is a document that you have that you can present when required for some of the money and grants that you'll be funding for, as well as your bylaws. Your IRS 1023 application submission, which is a big deal. This is your tax exemption request. This is the document that you need to make all of your contributions to your organization tax exempt for those that contribute. The sample operating budget and donation tracker is already created for you. You could just literally plug it in based on your needs. The strategic planning worksheet. This is huge because this is your roadmap to success. And then lastly, the 6 one-on-one coaching sessions during the program, which is very, very important. It's your guiding tool, okay, that's personalized for you. So the big 8 tangible items that you will acquire by the end of the program. The strategic planning worksheet will be one of the most important ones you receive. Now, did you know that 49 out of 100 nonprofits are operating without a strategic plan, which often leaves them stagnant? This tool is essential, and we will dive in as a team and also individually. You will have a completed plan for your organization by the end of the program. You will know who you are, who you serve, and what actions you'll need to take to grow your organization and soar. Now, lastly, for those attending the live program, our team handles all of the state and federal paperwork, leaving you one less thing to worry about. But there are also some bonuses. So you'll also get a board pass that allows for 1 complimentary entry to the program for someone within your organization. So another board member or a leader, the person that you feel is going to help you push your organization. One-on-one coaching support throughout your first year. So after you graduate, now the work begins and you need some more guidance. And we still offer some coaching and support for the first year of existence at no cost to you. And then lastly, the complimentary access to the next Foundation Leadership Summit. It's so important for you to get leadership building as you grow your organization. So there's tools and resources that are provided through the FLS program, which is also known as the Foundational Leadership Summit, excuse me. Now, just a few, we'll talk about the topics discussed during the program. We will cover these thoroughly. And for the sake of time, I'll just explain the first and the last one shown here. So creating and defining your vision and mission. In addition to your organization name, a lot of people they have a desire what they want to do. Some people don't really know what they want to do, but the program helps you figure that out. So you create your organization, we help define your vision and your mission, because without those two, you cannot move forward. And then also to the STEP and SWOT analysis. These are the pieces that allows you to expose your internal strengths and weaknesses, as well as identify your external opportunities and threats. Now, each topic discussed will not only help you with your planning your services for your constituents, but also provide readiness for your organization to garner potential funders and donors. Now, one of the best parts is receiving the bi-weekly one-to-one coaching individual strategy sessions. Then that focus on achieving specific desired outcomes, goals, and objectives. And this makes your program tailor-made to you. The program then concludes with a commencement and a launch event for all students. Now let's talk about the timeline. So we have the live program timeline projection. This is the live workshop, and there will be necessary tasks to be completed during this hands-on program. We will meet bi-weekly over the next 90 days, allowing us time to get all the items you will require to be completed, as well as the application submission for your federal and state approval from the IRS and the state. Now, these 3 months allow us plenty of time to complete all the necessary steps on building a solid foundation and an ethically progressive organization, which is very important to us, that we build organizations that are progressive and ethical. The goal is to ensure your nonprofit is established by the end of our time together, not just in name, because as I mentioned before, people have organizations without that plan, the strategic planning worksheet, and they don't have any, they're just an organization in name and not doing anything. And you don't want that to be you. So we ensure that your organization is solidified and ready to make an impact. Now, we cannot guarantee seating until the enrollment, but we do want to make sure that you are able to move forward. So now the biggest question, and before we get to that biggest question, I want to just share that we recently revamped the program, and there are way more tools and resources added. So we know that the previous graduates may be coming in back for review. Again, this is limited seating, so you want to make sure that if you're really interested in starting, that you do start your enrollment process, so that way you do not have an issue when it comes down to being in a class, okay? Let's talk about the big question that everyone wants to know: how much does it cost? We understand that people shop around and look for the best price. So we want to make sure that you know exactly what you're getting for what you're paying. All the 8 tangible items previously discussed in the slide before, along with your state and federal filing fees, which can be up to $800 depending on the state that you're located in or the state that you're starting your organization in, which can be different from the state you live in. So there are a lot of options. Of course, the Foundational Leadership Summit spring session for 2022, as well as your 501c3 formation services, which is a big deal. A lot of people want to be hands-off when it comes to paperwork. They want to ensure that everything is done correctly. They don't want to have that headache. We handle that for you. And of course, the board pass that allows you 1 guest to join at no additional charge. So the cost for the program for the standard price is $2,500. And this includes your state and federal fees, again, which can be up to $800 value. One of the reasons we started this program is because there is a lack of business resources that will walk you through the process of establishing your organization. And at the rate of legal help is obviously costly. And we can and will get this done without the need to exert excessive amounts of money for you to make an impact in the world and create your legacy. Now, our experience and expertise come from doing it ourselves. As Mr. McCowan mentioned, we have had a number of graduates that have success in their organizations already. And having a seat at the table of successful businesses and organizations, we're very proud of those who recently launched their nonprofit organization, and now it's your turn. So don't let money be a barrier to keep you from launching out, because there will be payment options available for you as well. Now, there is a plus program price that allows you to get an additional benefit. So in addition to everything in the standard program price, for the plus, it allows you to have a customized logo for branding, 2 professionally designed digital artwork flyers, which is necessary. Well, you can't really launch yourself without showing who you are. Think about the Nike logo. They don't have to say Nike, they have their swoosh, you just know who they are. So it is for you with your organization. So having your customized logo designed how you like is huge, as well as 2 artwork flyers that's also personalized to your liking, can help you launch yourself forward. And in addition to that, there's a social media package that includes your Facebook and Instagram setup. Now, this again is for people who want to do the work and don't have maybe the technical side of pieces. We have the support to help you there. The social media maintenance for at least 1 month, content creation, so you can go to the page and it has everything there, and you didn't do anything. You just talk with the team, let them know what your desires are, and they will create it according to your liking. Of course, that includes your photos and activities as provided by you as things move forward and you have events, and then the hashtags to capture your intended audiences. So we want to make sure that we choose the hashtags that's specific to your actual organization needs. The cost for the Plus program is $3,000. And again, we don't want money to be a barrier for you, so there is going to be payment options available. Now, for those who are very tech savvy and they have the ability to do things on their own, we have now offered the digital download option. Now, this is 100% hands-on and self-driven. So you can actually do all of the work on your own. And we want to talk about some of the benefits of choosing the digital download option. All the sessions are made available to you immediately. So that's all 7 classes available at the time of purchase. It's a self-paced program, so you can work as fast or slow as you like. And then you have lifetime access to the program, so you can repeat the sessions as needed. And those are the main benefits of having the download options along with others. Now, what's included with the download option is all the 7 pre-recorded classes, plus that strategic planning worksheet, which is like your nonprofit Bible, if you will. 2 one-on-one coaching sessions that's going to be tailor-made to you, as well as the sample operating budget and donation tracker, also previously provided in a previous programs, as well as clear instructions to obtain the following at your own terms. Your EIN, will provide the website link for that, as well as the list of the Secretary of States for all states, depending on wherever you like to start your organization in, plus their website link and phone numbers. Then the federal IRS application, that's one that's going to get you that tax exemption. We'll provide you with the name of the application you'll need to fill out and the website for that, as well as, which is the biggest piece, your articles of incorporation and your bylaws. So these are all personally provided to you at the time of purchase if you choose to do the digital download option, okay? The cost of the digital download program is $1,250. Now, again, I want to highlight that those coaching sessions are really key and essential. You want to maximize those to ask any questions that you may have. However, the instructions will be very clear for what it is that you need to do. Now, the last piece, as we talked about money being a barrier, we do want to share that we do have some scholarships available. Now, there are a limited number of partial scholarships available for the live class. Now, to request an application, you can send an email to npdp@weserveva.org and request an application for the scholarship. Now, the applications will be responded to on a first come, first served basis for those that apply. Now, at this time, there are no scholarships available for the digital download option. So we want to make sure that you're very clear about that. And we want to give you the time now to ask any questions. Let us know if you have any questions by raising your hand, by clicking the reaction buttons at the right of the Zoom, and then we'll go ahead and answer at that time. All righty. There seems to be no questions, I don't believe. So it's been a pleasure to present to you tonight. I look forward to working with each of you. Together, we can change the world. There is a survey that will be provided via email about today's presentation, and we kindly ask that you answer the short 3-minute survey. We'll put our information here so we can keep in touch. This concludes my presentation tonight, and I want to add that joining this program, you will be part of a community of groundbreaking organizers and surrounded by like-minded people who will share resources, experiences, and life challenges, how we overcame them, and what we can do in the future. Some of your organizations may complement one another and you can partner together on future events. We have had that happen already as well. We love partnering people who are in the same field because we don't have competitors, we have partners. So we're creating our own directory that will be able to support and lean on one another through the program. So if that is all for you, that is all for us today. And we thank you for joining in. And we met our 30-minute quota. And thank you again for participating this evening. We look forward to having you in the program and answering any questions that you may have in the future. Take care. Bye-bye.